Well, joining me to go through all of this is Liam Halligan, GB News' business and economics editor. As I understand it, Liam, the proposed tax cuts from Kwasi Kwarteng, and maybe he did go too far, too fast, and I kind of get that, but I liked the direction of travel. His proposed tax cuts would have amounted to about 45 billion.
Correct.
As it is, there's now a tax increase of 32 billion. That is a very dramatic swing.
It is. It's a 5% increase in taxation in one bound. So for every £20 that the state taxes, it's now going to tax you another £1, which is a very significant increase, given this isn't even a budget, it's just a kind of fiscal event.
Well, interesting you say that, because didn't Hunt warn us that more tax increases are coming?
We've got another fiscal statement in a couple of weeks, the 31st of October. There'll be some spending cuts there, or certainly some reductions in the increase in spending, some fiscal retrenchment. And I agree with you, Nigel. If you look at the proposals that Kwarteng and Liz Truss put together in the mini-budget, there was nothing in there that was particularly radical. There was a reduction in the top rate of income tax to where it was under Blair and Brown. There was a reduction in the basic rate of income tax to 19 pence. There was a freezing of corporation tax, not an increase, a freezing of corporation tax.
I noticed this.
At 19. So Labour agreed with the reduction in the basic rate of income tax. They agreed with the reduction in national insurance, the only part of the mini-budget that's actually really gone through. They agreed with the energy price cap. So the majority of the proposals Labour actually agreed with. I think the mistake that was made, and we should acknowledge there were mistakes, Nigel, the mistake that was made is all these proposals were being done at once, and a small change proposed by Kwarteng to lower the top rate of tax from 45 to 40 pence in the pound, not particularly radical, as I said, but to do that, it's for the top 2% of earners at a time when the cost of living squeeze was really starting to bite, as winter is coming, as the nights are drawing in, and a lot of vulnerable families are worried. That was a bit politically tin-eared, in my view.
That may be true, Liam. But, I've been looking today. You can move tomorrow as a high earner to Italy and pay top rate tax for 5 years of 30%. Some deals, you might even get it down to about 12.5%.
Yep.
The French are making similar tax offers. Luxembourg.
There's going to be a brain drain.
So we're going to lose people, aren't we?
And not only at the top level, we're also going to lose people in terms of businesses and corporation tax. You said this is a war on the self-employed.
Yeah.
I'd agree with you. Think about Northern Ireland tonight. If you're a business in Northern Ireland, you're about to face from April a corporation tax rate of 25%. That's double what it is in the Republic. I wouldn't begrudge the Republic their low rate of corporation tax, but if you're trying to attract investment in Northern Ireland and build a business, that becomes more difficult. Combine that with these IR35 rules, which are going to stay in place. They are the bane of the lives of many self-employed people, because Treasury types think that these IR35 self-employment rules are a tax dodger's charter. Whereas actually, a lot of us in journalism are freelance. There's journalists that you and I know, their lives have been completely ruined because suddenly they're told by the revenue the rules are changing retrospectively and they owe hundreds of thousands of pounds in tax. This corporation tax increase, plus the IR35, plus the changes into dividend tax, this isn't going to affect the big city rollers. We can see the lights from the city. They've got very
Goldman Sachs.
They've got very clever accountants who can wheel and deal and do all this. This is going to affect people running chip shops, laundrettes. This is going to affect people running building companies. This is going to affect the striving classes of Britain, the alarm clock classes, the people who get up in the morning and provide for themselves and their families and employ people in their communities. And it's a shame. I don't think Jeremy Hunt understands that class of people at all. I think Liz Truss does, and I think Kwasi Kwarteng does, but they're now no longer in charge.
No, and Truss is in office, but clearly not in power, and one wonders, looking at her demeanour.
I worry for her personally. I don't want to, I don't want to sound deprecating or patronising in any way, but I thought today there's a genuine human tragedy. I know her quite well. It's my job to know people in the cabinet and so on, as you know. And I thought she looked really more than troubled. I think she looked, I worried about what was going on. Penny Mordaunt made a couple of slightly cryptic references to why she wasn't actually in the statement in the House, referring to Keir Starmer's unstarred emergency question, and I wonder what we're going to hear about that over the next couple of days.
Well,